Hello, Year 11, and welcome to this, our third video and the fourth topic. We've been collecting data and we're looking at types of data here. We want to classify the data that we're collecting. Now, we can break into two main types, but I'm going to jump straight into the four subtypes. Right? Really, when we ask a question and we get the answer to that question, that's the data that we're collecting is the answer to a question, and we're going to classify each or any data that we collect, we're going to classify it in one of four ways. If the answer to the question, so if the data that we're collecting is something that has been measured, right? So if it's in centimetres or metres or kilometres or kilograms or degrees Celsius or something like that. If it's something that's measured using some sort of instrument and giving an answer in some sort of units, right? If it's measured, then it is continuous data. Right? If I measure it, it's continuous data. If the answer to the question that I ask is something that has been counted, right? Such as, how many brothers do you have? How many days school did you miss? Right? If it's something that you count the answer, how many eggs go in this cake? Right? If you count it, then it is discrete data. Right? So continuous is measured and counted is discrete. And we have all sorts of language that goes, distinctions in English between whether a quantity is continuous or discrete. Right? If I'm making a cake, I need to know how much milk goes in, but how many eggs, because I measure the milk, but I count the eggs. Right? And if I decide to make a smaller cake, then I will need less milk. But when it's something that's discrete, something that's counted, we shouldn't say less eggs. We should say fewer eggs. Right? So a counted quantity, a discrete quantity, we should use the word fewer instead of less. So how much, how many, right? We can say more for both of them, but less or fewer. Okay? There's some other language that goes around that. The number of eggs or the amount of milk. Right? Depending on whether it's measured, in which case it's continuous, or whether it's counted, in which case it's discrete. Now, those two subtypes, if you like, those two categories of data are both numerical data, or sometimes we call it quantitative data, because it refers to a quantity, right? How many or how much is numerical data. The answer will be a number, right? What if I said, though, imagine I ask you, what suburb do you live in? You might say Maitland or Gilliston Heights or Thornton or Ashtonfield, right? And that is not measured, it's not counted. What I've really got there is the name of something, right? And if I ask lots of people those questions, it would be hard to put their answers in some sort of logical sequence or order. Right? What comes first, Ashtonfield or Metford? Well, I could put them in alphabetical order. I could put them in order of distance from school. I could put them in order of decreasing population, who knows, right? But it's not intrinsic. It's not within in that data itself, what sort of order it should go in. So it's just the name, right? If I ask a question and your response is the name of something, then it's nominal data. Nom, not like number, but like name, like a nom de plume, which is a pen name, or a nom de guerre, which is a fighting name, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yeah, nom meaning name, or referring to name. Now, the fourth data type is the one that people get caught up with the most. It's ordinal data. It's data, right? It's the answer to a question that belongs in a particular sequence or order, but we don't know the size of those things. So it's kind of close to being a numerical data, but not quite. So if I talked about, what setting do you use most on your fan, on your ceiling fan? Low, medium, or high. Right? We know that medium goes in the middle, that low's at one end and high's at the other end. Right? I know high is the fastest, but I don't know how fast it is. Just that it's faster than medium and low. Right? If I asked you what size shoes you wear, well, that certainly sounds like your answer is going to be a number. But what does that number refer to? Kind of lost in the mists of time, that one, I think. Or at least to me it is. Right? Whether you wear a size 8 or a size 9 or a 15 or a 3, right? Shoe sizes, we can certainly put them in order. But it doesn't exactly tell us, you know, that number, 3 what? 3 shoes? If I double that number, right, is a size 6 shoe twice as big as a size 3? I'm not sure if that's the case. Right, it only refers to the relative size of it. Right, that a size 5 shoe is bigger than a size 4 and it's smaller than a size 6. Right, that medium setting on your fan is faster than low and slower than high. Right, so if it's something that has an order but not an actual quantity, then that's ordinal data. And nominal, that's the name of something, and ordinal data together, we group those together as categorical data because it doesn't tell me the size of something, it puts things into categories. Rightio. Do we have an example here? No, I don't. That's it. Righto. So it's a funny sort of maths here, classifying things. It's almost like the science of maths, this, you know, classifying things. But anyway, or the science of statistics. I don't know. But try to remember those things, numerical and categorical, right? Whether your answer is a number or a name, a category. But remember, ordinal is a problem with that. Continuous is measured. Discrete is counted. Nominal is name. And ordinal belongs in order. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoy. See you in class.